Hello everyone, Canon Lowy here, this time with another Path of Exile, kind of just an update of how my Atlas progression has been going through Scourge League. So, with my Scourge League review, I had mentioned that the endgame progression for the Atlas has greatly been streamlined to make it easier to go through it a lot faster and get to those higher tier maps and whatnot a lot faster. So, from my experience, this has definitely been one of the biggest quality of life features that Scourge League has provided. So, I mentioned in my league review that not only have they provided quality of life for picking up stacks of currency instead of currency one by one by one, but for the Atlas progression, they have streamlined it very well. So, as you can see here, I am level 88, which means I've been actually really getting into this, well, at least this character, and I have gotten a total of 12 Watchstones so far. And I haven't really been playing too much, I would say. I mean, if you're a regular Path of Exile player, you've been playing much more than I have, I think. As well as, because of how my trap build is, my clear speed hasn't been super amazing either. But I've still gotten 12 Watchstones, and because there's only 4 regions now, that allows me to get up to red maps already. So going into my map stash tab here, I have 6 total red maps for tier 11 and then 1 tier 12 right now, and a few tier 8, a few tier 10s. Excuse me. So with this progression, I haven't really had like an overabundance of maps at all. So for any given tier that I've been working on, I've had around like 5 to 10 at any given time, which is kind of expected, but at the same time, I haven't been running out of maps or anything, which has been really nice. But one of the most important things that I wanted to talk about was for the Conquerors, they made it so that you can spawn them pretty much right away. I think I spawned the first Baron fight or encounter at like tier 2 or tier 3 to get his influence on my maps already. And usually you would have to wait until going into the corners of a region of the Atlas to get a Conqueror to show up, which was like tier 4, tier 5-ish. And also, they've been spawning pretty much immediately after you get the Watchstone from their boss fight. You can pretty much immediately spawn them again in that same region if you have the required Watchstone socketed and everything. So that has been making it so that I can go so much faster through the Atlas on that. And then another thing is for the Maven stuff, since there's only a few regions as well, I think that's probably the biggest reason why it feels so much faster, is because not only can we spawn the Conquerors faster or sooner than we did before, but since there's only 4 regions, it's a whole lot easier to focus on those Conquerors. And also, throughout all of this, I've been getting the Maven encounters, as all of you would know. So having that go on as kind of an automatic thing instead of really needing to worry about it, because at first when they introduced the Maven, I did kind of find it mildly annoying at the time that that it's one of those things that you kind of have to do in order to get these powerful map passives, but then at the same time she buffs a boss without having as much control over it, but with this character anyway, or maybe it's just because I don't know. Maybe she isn't as influential as before or what, but I haven't really had any problem with a Maven at all. It might be because I'm using traps. So I'm using an ice trap build with stacking power charges with void batteries. So it's basically an updated version of my ice trap build guide from a while ago. But since the Maven has been automatic as well, I've been getting quite a few of those. So I think the biggest one, well, all of these passives seem to be really great for whatever targeted content you want to do in the endgame. So you want to do legions, you can farm the this one with these nodes and then get a lot of legions and a lot more stuff with legions. And I found the sulfite ones especially, like, if you do this region and have all of these sulfite nodes, you can pretty much delve so much more often. It's pretty crazy. So with there only being 4 regions, spawning the Conquerors sooner, as well as the Maven being extremely a non-issue for progression, I just wanted to express like how good, for me at least, how much better it has been with that, because I found before they added the Conquerors, I really liked the progression of just focusing on moving up the maps until getting to the tier 16 red corrupted, rare corrupted maps, and then have that be the focus, instead of going through all of these regions and dealing with all the Conquerors 4 times. And when they first introduced the Conquerors, they would even have instances where you would want the Conquerors to spawn in a region and they just wouldn't unless you did a certain amount of maps, which was very irritating. And as you can see here, it only takes 3 maps in order to fight a Conqueror, even with this many Watchstones. So it has definitely really cut down on the amount of time it takes to get to that end game. So yeah, I just wanted to make this little update of my Atlas progression as a tack on to my Scourge review, and this definitely makes me interested in Path of Exile again, like more so than even in my review of, I mean, if the first 10 acts of the main story wasn't such a slog, and with them making it more difficult or adding more stuff that slows you down in the acts, that's kind of my biggest setback on whether or not I make new characters or do a new league. But knowing how much more streamlined the endgame is and how much smoother it is, it definitely encourages me to, if I have a good build planned out and whatnot, to give it a shot. And I've been really enjoying it. So hopefully you have been enjoying Scourge League, and because I'm using traps and with the demonstration in my Scourge League review, I haven't really been interacting with Scourge at all, but the quality of life's stuff more than makes up for whether or not I interact with the league content. So with that, thank you very much for watching, and have a wonderful day.